everyone, and welcome to our exciting new webinar on ConstructionSuite 6. My name is Rachel Pickens, and I'm one of our product specialists. I'm joined by my colleague and senior product specialist, Ian.
Hello, everyone.
He's laughing because I'm buttering him up. But we're so excited. Today is the day that ConstructionSuite 6 is ready. So we're excited to show you all of the new exciting features. We're excited because we've been using this here in-house, and so it's one of those things where we finally get to kind of show it off and really get to see your reaction to all of the new changes and exciting updates and enhancements in ConstructionSuite 6. So there's a lot to show today. A few things to note. We've got, of course, ConstructionSuite 6. We've got Ian and myself who will be showing off some of the new bells and whistles and the new things that you'll be receiving. A few things that we're excited about here at UDA is that this has been a whirlwind of a year. The first quarter for us has just really been, we've been really moving. You might have seen that we've won the top product award for Construction Executive Magazine. That was a huge honor. We're really excited to announce that, and you've probably seen it all over our website.
Absolutely.
We like to show that off. We've seen a lot of exciting new changes with ConstructionOnline. So for those of you who are ConstructionOnline users, you may have seen some of the exciting new changes, the budgeting tool specifically, and we'll even highlight that later on in the session this afternoon. But really a lot of nice exciting things. For those of you who are new to ConstructionSuite and overall new to UDA Technologies, we've been in business for over 15 years, so we've been in the industry for a while. This is ConstructionSuite 6, meaning that it is the 6th version of ConstructionSuite. So we're excited that we're constantly updating and staying relevant to the industry and really making sure that the tools we provide are going to help you build your business. So a lot of exciting new changes. To start, every new version of ConstructionSuite is always going to be packed with the latest technology in terms of speed and performance enhancements. We're making sure that they're updated and compatible with the most recent operating system. So for those of you who are Windows 8 users, you have no problem there. That's going to work very well. For those of you who have upgraded to QuickBooks 2015, you're also able to integrate your ConstructionSuite 6 with QuickBooks 2015. So we're making sure that it's up to date with those latest tools that you're integrating with. It's also going to be packed full of speed improvements in terms of loads. A lot of the data, we have many users who we consider our power users here at UDA. Those who are really packing this full with a lot of projects, who have hundreds of projects at a time or that are active at least, and so making sure that those are fast to load are very important as well. So you'll see that those are always enhancing and improving in any future version of ConstructionSuite. Moreover, we also have enhanced international support. So we've seen a huge increase in our international users in markets, specifically in Australia, the UK, South Africa. So we're excited to show that ConstructionSuite is continuing to offer more international support. So time zones, time and date format, holidays, of course, different terminology. You'll continue to see ConstructionSuite move in that direction. So for those of you who are joining us from abroad or a different country, we're excited to make sure that the tools are relevant to you as well. So enough about that. Let's get to the real product. I know that you're waiting to see what is new in ConstructionSuite. You've probably already noticed, if you're an existing user to ConstructionSuite, the face of the program is different. So I had worked with somebody earlier today who had said, the first words out of their mouth were, "Oh wow, it just looks so good." And it's really nice to be able to see the visible changes in ConstructionSuite. So really, dashboards are one of the new changes and enhancements that you're going to see throughout the entire product. You'll see right on the main dashboard screen, labeled for what it's showing there, you're going to see your cost breakdown for all estimates within your projects or within your ConstructionSuite system. So right off the bat, you've got a full breakdown of your material and labor costs, where your what your equipment and sub costs, as well as anything else that might be included. For those of you who are ConstructionSuite Premier, Catalyst, or higher, you'd see our nice lead pipeline, so you can quickly see the different statuses of your prospects and which ones are in a certain stage. Below that, you can see the number of change orders that are accepted, rejected, or pending. So we all know how much of a pain this can be, and we've made sure that it's right there on the front screen when you log in, so you can see exactly what the status is overall or what you have pending or in review. And of course, our trusty financial graph, which has been there for a little while, has now just taken an updated look. The financial graph is really the best way to see a quick snapshot in terms of how your jobs are doing. To give you a quick update, you'll see that in red, you're showing your base estimate. That's your original contract sum. You've got that amount plus change orders shown in green. So if you're using our change order management tool, you can see the difference between some of these jobs in terms of change orders. Actual costs are shown in blue, and those can be either hand entered or integrated from QuickBooks. You may know, and really the majority of our users are also QuickBooks users. And we found that that's been a very successful, or that's really the best in the industry, according to one of our, if you might be following Intuitive Accountant Magazine, we've been called tremendous. So we're excited about that integration as well. Committed costs and invoiced amounts are shown here in yellow and orange respectively. Committed costs would show what you have in purchase orders in QuickBooks, and your invoice amounts would show off what you've invoiced the client and coming in from QuickBooks. So just a quick overview in terms of where you stand in most cases financially with your projects. Now you'll notice that the navigation is really similar to what you would have seen in ConstructionSuite 5 and for the most part in previous versions. You've got the left sidebar, which is the quickest way to navigate. You've got these icons or these tabs at the top that allow you to bounce between different projects. And right away you can see some changes to the summary view that just shows a quick little log so you can see your recent activities or pending to-dos. You'd find your activity log, really your history in terms of all of your projects, so you can see at any point the latest changes that anyone has been making. If you're using our commercial versions, you've got your correspondence overview, so you can see the requests for information, the submittals, the transmittals that are pending or are needing response. And for those of you who are network or developer or enterprise or corporate users, our multi-user levels are going to have that company overview. So all of those are very similar to what you would have seen in previous versions. Ian's going to show off our work in progress tool. So I'm just going to give you a sneak peek and then come back to the dashboard page. He's going to touch on that a little bit more as well. Now this doesn't just happen on the Today screen. All of these dashboards are going to be found throughout the estimating and the scheduling tabs, so you can see what's coming up within that week or 2 week time frame. You've got nice easy ways to create new documents. One thing I love though is in the projects and your contacts. So you'll see that you can easily see in terms of projects and updates. We'll go ahead and dismiss that update for now. That's a new feature that we can show off today too. You'll see that we've got our projects showing the different statuses or stages of those projects. Ian, tell them about some of the webinars we're going to be talking about in this coming week, or some of the things that they can look forward to in terms of upcoming webinars.
Yeah, actually, for those of you who haven't had the chance yet to take a look at the new series of webinars that we're going to be introducing for ConstructionSuite 6, Rachel has pulled up the list for us here, so thank you, Rachel. And from here, we're actually going to be going through a lot of this information in ConstructionSuite to help you kind of focus on how to do a better job using the tools that we provide. For example, on Monday, we're going to be covering how to win jobs at least more efficiently, and how to do a lot better work tracking your leads, making sure that your sales reps are on time, and keeping in touch with everybody that we're working with. Of course, Wednesday next week, we're going to be touching on a little bit more detail with the workflows and productivity. Efficiency is going to be a big part of this one. Friday, of course, we're talking on some of the adjustments that we've made, really enhancements to ConstructionSuite to make using ConstructionSuite on a Microsoft Surface Pro so much easier to work with. As you saw in those main interfaces, we've got a lot of the tools in place to make the touchscreen navigation a lot easier with those new bubble sorts and everything like that. And we'll be enhancing or kind of highlighting a lot of these features and functions as we get into Friday's webinar. The following week, we're going to be touching on things like profitability and work in progress reporting that we have in place now in ConstructionSuite. This is going to be available on Tuesday, and this has actually been getting a huge amount of buzz, not just from recent partners like Remodelers Advantage have really helped contribute to this process, but even outside CPAs and accountants, consultants that you guys might be working with have fallen in love with some of the tools that we make available to you guys here. So talk to them about that. This is going to be huge. And then, of course, Thursday of that week, we're going to be tying everything together, bringing in some of our existing clients and sharing some of their stories with you guys as well, allowing them to come in here and talk about their successes and everything like that with this product and the history of our programs as well. So by all means, if you haven't taken a look at it yet, please come to the web page from our home site and sign up for one of these webinars, or all of them if you get a chance to. We'd love to have you guys join us for those as well.
Absolutely. And really, all that to say, as we go back into ConstructionSuite, you'll see that some of these tools in terms of dashboards are really available so that you can make best use, so that you can really see where your projects stand quickly. So you'll notice that these aren't just pretty pictures, but they're also quick filters, so you can see easily which jobs are in certain stages. They're all customizable, so you can set your own stages. You can update that list. You can, really kind of make that specific and customized to your business. Within all of these, so if I were to open up one of our existing projects, we'll go ahead and pull up the one that we've been recently working in. You'll see that the project overview page is greatly enhanced. This is one of my favorite views because it just gives you so much information here. This is really where you can see everything that's up and coming. Most of the time when I'm in conversations with current users and they're wanting to know, how do I go into a project and see where it stands? Like, what do I need to do? How do I see that? And that's going to be found in the project overview. This view is going to show you where that project is. So literally, you've got the location on the Google Maps. You double click, that's going to open up that Google Map feature that's connected automatically. So you don't even have to you don't have to do anything to configure that specifically. You've also got your project details, so your quick breakdown of your estimate costs, your schedule details. You've got your recent files, which can pull in from outside of ConstructionSuite too. So one of the things that you can do here is actually drag plans or documents or contracts right into this file section so that everything involving your project is all found within your files section. Below that, you'll notice a lot more of these visual elements, again, to highlight and make it quick and easy for you to really see the different statuses and priorities. So in regards to your activities, you've got a look at all of your upcoming or overdue scheduled activities. You can see the to-dos classified in term or overdue or incomplete. You can also see all of the related contacts who are involved on your job, including your leads for those as well. So you can see the different contact types and the relationships and access that information. So it's a great way for you to really see all that's involved on that project. Some of the things, though, that we really love and that we're really going to be touching more on in the upcoming webinar series that Ian described is things like the workflow tools. And tell them a little bit about this, Ian.
Absolutely, yeah. And the workflows it's actually one of my favorite features here in ConstructionSuite, because for a lot of you who have been setting up your companies, you had a strong hand in making sure that everything got you to the successful company that you are today. And the easiest way to share this with a lot of the people that you work with is by setting up these kind of workflows. The workflow is going to be your in-office process for how you want all of your jobs to get done from beginning to end. These usually start for us with the planning or proposal phase, could be opportunity phase for some of you. And really what we're doing here with these workflows is setting up step by step each of those major or key points that we want everybody to go through for each of their jobs. So as we go through and complete these activities for the job, all we need to do is just check in the box to show that this item has been completed. And you'll see that a lot of these actually have links on them, and clicking the link triggers that action that you want them to complete on this one. For example, creating an estimate, maybe this icon links us to the estimate template that we want for this type of project perhaps. Maybe it just takes us into the estimate wizard, the estimating wizard perhaps. But you'll be able to set up each of these workflows for any types of projects that you've got. These are all going to be keyed into those project types. And as you'll notice, as I'm going through and actually marking some of these activities as complete, it's updating the information that we have up here at the top, which is going to be your easy way to tell how far along each phase of this project is. I've got this one organized in such a way that we can see that we are now 35% done with that planning portion of the workflow. As we move into pre-construction, perhaps, you'll see as we start moving through this process as well that we can start to get a little bit closer to completion on that one. And this is also going to be a wonderful way for you to not only see exactly how well your jobs are progressing here, but it also makes handoff extremely easy. You can see that the person handling the planning phase is complete with theirs perhaps, and you know exactly what's been done. You can track when it's been done in the project log. And again, you can eliminate a lot of these meetings where you guys have to track progress on our projects, because the workflow helps us get that done instead.
Yeah, so really a fantastic tool. I mean, this is one of those probably most hidden features, or the kind of the tools that a lot of people may not see at the very first, but they're really essential to making sure that your workflow or that your involvement in Construction Suite is really clean and effortless, especially like Ian said, when you have multiple team members who are all logging in and updating the projects. This gives you a quick way to see exactly what's completed. It allows them to really learn the software easily because you can jump right into the right template or the right next step. And you can see quickly how that project stands for more of an admin perspective. So not specific to the construction schedule, that's a separate piece. It gives you a bigger picture in terms of what's actually needing to be done or what's left to complete that project. And not only the workflow will you see these updated dashboards, you're also going to see these in your insurance and certificate tracking tool. So here within the project itself, you can add project insurance and project certificates, and you'll notice again that dashboard is going to allow you to see all certificates within a certain expiration time frame. You can also see this same view within my contacts. So rather than going to the project, we'll go ahead and jump over on the left sidebar into my contacts. You can see again some of those existing kind of features with grouping your contacts, but we'll use the insurance and certificate area to show off those upcoming or overdue insurance. So I can see all of those that are within this 30-day time period, so I can know who I need to contact. Now, Construction Suite already contacts them for you. So the nice thing about this is that we've already done the hard work in terms of setting up those automatic email reminders that are going to go out to these individuals. It's going to pop up in your software, so you're going to get an alert as soon as that insurance is set to expire. But it also gives you a quick way to check in and see what's coming up or what's already expired, so that you don't end up booking somebody that you're going to end up regretting later. So it gives you a chance to really go in there and see that information quickly within Construction Suite. So let's take a moment to just kind of show off some of those other dashboards. You'll see within the All Contacts view, like we had already seen, we've got our contact grouping. One of the nice ways in managing and organizing your information in Construction Suite is by using your contact groups so that you can see the different vendors and subs in each specific trade. And again, you can click on those to filter those that are specifically electric versus drywall. Again, you can customize and edit these all throughout the little settings menu in the top right. So you'll notice that you can simply select the little gear icon or the cog icon. You can choose which icons are included, and you can also edit the icons and those little cute graphics along with those as well. So you can update and edit that to your heart's desire there. So again, a lot of those visual effects are throughout the software. And the lead tracking, though, is where you're going to be able to really see this. And so within leads, it's so important to know who you've got in kind of a pending status, who's needing further follow-up, where they stand in that process. So within your lead system, you can easily come to your leads, see the information in terms of profitability or probability, their values, so you can sort all of this information. And again, you can see exactly who's not been assigned. So you've got, in this case, 6 or so people who are waiting for a sales agent perhaps, or kind of the next step in that process. So it gives you a chance again to create all of those and manage that information. The calendar has an updated look and feel, so you can go in and pick and choose which contacts or projects. You can see it's just cleaner, so it allows you to jump between those. You can also see this same type of kind of visual effect in your overdue window. So we use these heavily internally in terms of kind of managing tasks between us here at UDA. So the to-dos is one of our heavily used tools where we're able to really kind of assign different tasks to people and quickly see what's been completed and what's still left to complete. So a lot of nice ways to see that information. And furthermore, your ConstructionOnline integration. If, again, those of you who are integrating with ConstructionOnline and have that SuiteLink service enabled through TotalCare, you're going to see that you have all of your ConstructionOnline alerts in terms of updated selections, your project logs, punch lists. All of that's going to show you the recent activity here within your Construction Suite system. So at this point then, let's go ahead and hop into that dashboard we kind of quickly showed off a moment ago. We'll go ahead and take a look at that work in progress reporting.
Actually, if you don't mind, before we jump into that, let's actually talk about where this information is coming from in a little bit more detail. Of course, Rachel has pulled up this work in progress report from us, and as we take a look through this information, and I'm pointing at the screen as if you guys can see it again, but as we take a look through this, this is just giving us an overview of where we stand on a lot of our projects. In this particular report or in this tool, you'll see where we have our original contract price, what we originally signed with a client, of course. Change orders, just like we saw, kind of talked about a little bit in the financial graph. You'll also see things like your current contract price, your original job costs, or your budgets for those jobs, and so on through. Now, a lot of this information is being fed, you might say all of it, in fact, is being fed into the work in progress report here based on the information that we've set up in the estimates and the projects. So as Rachel mentioned before, we've got the navigation panel over here on the left side that shows us a lot of the different detail for everything that we're working in. The estimating section, wonderful place to go to set up new estimating templates. Scheduling section, quick overview for some of our scheduled tasks for this week, but also for the scheduling templates and so on. From here though, we're focusing mostly on the information that we're putting together in the projects section. Hopping back into one of these projects, you'll actually see some of the information here in the project details that are being pulled from the primary estimate on the job. Now, we happen to have that estimate open, if you notice down here at the bottom. So let's pull this guy up for just a moment. And from this estimate, we're actually using some of the best in the industry QuickBooks integration. And this is going to be sending information over to QuickBooks based on the selections that we've put in place to create estimates, invoices, purchase orders, things like that. We'll also be pulling back a lot of this information as well through the import of actual costs, committed costs, and handling a lot of the job costing information through here. This also allows you to have one or just a couple of bookkeepers managing all of the sensitive company information, but still allow your project managers to see how well they're doing, because we can pull it up like this and show right in line that apparently Rachel has gone way over budget on a couple of these line items. But again, it's giving us live, accurate information so that you can see immediately where we stand on these jobs based on some of the information. And this is what's actually feeding into that work in progress report, not the labor report. Work in progress, which is back on that today screen. So again, just kind of touching back on this one, we can see the original contract price based on the estimate that we just put together. We can see a lot of the change orders that are put into it. We can track our costs and how much we've actually spent to date. You can also see, based on some of these details, our remaining budget, profitability is going to be in here, and a lot of additional details as well. Talk to your accountants or your bookkeepers about this also. This is probably the sort of information they've been asking you for
They're going to flip.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is the kind of thing as well that we've seen from some of our advisors, like, again, if you take a look at that article, we'd love to share it to you from Intuitive Accountant. Some of the advisors that work with Remodelers Advantage have been kind of looking for this for years as well, a lot of requirements out there, and we know that almost everybody who does any kind of construction can benefit heavily from these kind of tools. We've also set it up so that it gives you that visual depiction up here at the top. You can also go through though and set it up so that it's taking snapshots. You can manage those snapshots here, and the snapshots are a way for you to track maybe month by month or something like that, maybe quarter by quarter, exactly where you stood at that point, so you can see the impact of the past month or the past few months or something like that by doing a quick comparison on these snapshots. So take a look through these. I think that they'll benefit you greatly if you can go through and keep track of some of that information. Now, of course, this is one of the other major pieces that we've added in with the new version of ConstructionSuite, with ConstructionSuite 6. Jumping back to the estimate, though, you'll actually see some of the added tools in here as well. If we jump into any of the category sheets, there's some new columns here, room and phase columns, that allow you to organize a lot of this information into maybe the rooms, if any of you guys are doing remodeling projects and a client hires you to come in and take a look at a kitchen and a bathroom, maybe an addition or something like that. This is a wonderful place to go through and kind of organize what you're working on, and that way when you're generating things like the proposals, you can organize them or give subtotals for your job based on the rooms that you're working in. Really provide a little additional detail. We've had a lot of our commercial clients ask for something similar though with the phase column. So same idea, you can go through here and organize everything that you're doing so that you can break your costs out by room or by phase. Some of this information is going to be available to you in the reporting features. Some of the new reports, the little pop-up that we keep getting here kind of highlights that labor report. You'll see a lot of new reports available in ConstructionSuite 2. Not just those taking advantage of the new room and phase columns, but a few extras to pull out some of the information here from anything that we have classified as labor. You'll also be able to see breakdowns on these for those of you coming from the older ConstructionSuite products in the estimate summary over here on the right. So costs by category, costs by classification, things like that. This information is going to be available in the estimates. Of course, you can generate reports from that. Scheduling also sees a lot of wonderful enhancements here as well. Not just for, like Rachel mentioned earlier, the speed enhancements and everything like that. There's going to be some additional details that we can keep track of here. But one of my favorite things, and this is something that I'll pass over to Rachel in a moment because she's probably a little bit more specialized in this than I am. But one of my favorite parts about all of this information that we're putting together, not only is it going to be flowing seamlessly between estimating and scheduling or any of the reports, going over to QuickBooks, super easy, but it's also going to have publish options to go to ConstructionOnline as well. So you can see a publish option here in the schedule. There's also going to be one back here in the estimate as well. So if we come back to the File tab, there's a Save to ConstructionOnline. And Rachel, why don't you tell them a little bit about what you can do with this information once you've got signed contracts and you're ready to go?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, once you've got this estimate, which is so much more detailed, it gives you a chance to really track your costs and really sync that with QuickBooks. But so often we've been hearing, how do we see this online? Or really, when you're able to kind of upload this information, how do we tag change orders that we're making online? Or how do we give our clients the ability to make their selection choices and have that update the estimate? So the answer is through SuiteLink and ConstructionOnline budgeting. As I mentioned earlier in the session, with ConstructionOnline, we've just recently launched preview mode for ConstructionOnline budgeting. So you can actually create budgets online without actually having ConstructionSuite set up. But now with ConstructionSuite, you can actually upload that directly. So to do that, what we'll go ahead and do is come back into the estimate main page, select the option to save to ConstructionOnline. Here we have some options to upload as a PDF or an Excel document. Now these are going to be options available for Total Care members. It does require that SuiteLink integration, but they do not require a ConstructionOnline Pro account. That gives you some of those extended functionality. What you'll find in construction, and the second option though, is the option to now export to ConstructionOnline budgeting. So what we'll do is we'll go ahead and hit save. It'll walk you through a step-by-step process showing you exactly what's going to go over and how it's going to appear or update your budget online. So you can see that I can opt to include schedule information, allowances, change orders as you go and update those, and then kind of see what might have been left out or kind of see how that information would appear. I'm not going to finish this process because I've already uploaded this, so you'd see once you hit next and finish, it would go ahead and just upload into ConstructionOnline. But I'll go ahead and pull up the one that we have for us here. There we go. There we go. So right off the bat, you can see that we're now in ConstructionOnline, of course, which is all web-based. So you can access it from anywhere with an internet connection. And now you'll be able to see that I've got the estimate for this 2272 project pulled up in front of me with my project totals listed exactly as in the estimate back in ConstructionSuite. So I can see my breakdown, like Ian was pointing out on the right sidebar back in the estimate in the suite. We also have a cost by category on the right sidebar in Online. This makes for really helpful and easy navigation. For example, if I want to jump down to my roofing section within my estimate, you can see that this makes for really easy updating and navigating throughout your project totals or throughout your budget spreadsheet. On the left, you're going to find all of your different classification totals, so you can see the different classifications for each of these items. You'll notice that my notes came up, so I can actually click on those and either add new notes, or I can go in and just review the notes that have been posted so far. You'll notice the traffic light system on the left, which is really just a way for you to indicate status or whatever you want. This could mean anything that you want here, but it could be a way for you to kind of visually represent items that need to go back and be reviewed. For example, lot cost, that was way over my budget earlier, so we could make that one nice and red. Now that we've uploaded the estimate though into the ConstructionOnline budgeting, I also can now link my selections, aka allowances, and change orders as those come into ConstructionOnline as well. So back in my estimate, if we take a moment here and we go into, I think I've done it in my cabinetry and countertops. So here you can see that I've set up my countertop section to as an allowance amount or allowance budget of about $2,900. So now that I've set that as an allowances and I've sent that to ConstructionOnline, I can actually see those separated on my allowance sheet or my selection sheet within ConstructionOnline. So here I can see my cabinetry and countertops. It's shown as pending, but for $2,900. So it's still totaling into my estimate, but now this gives me the option to actually add choices, so I can add different products or materials that I can then give my clients the ability to log in and update or choose the finishes or the options that they'd like to move forward with. And once they make those decisions, I'll be able to see that actual cost reflected automatically. Change orders is exactly the same way. I don't have any change orders yet for this project, but if I created those in ConstructionSuite, I could have uploaded those as well and had the online change order ready for approval. So that way I can see my status, I can see exactly what's been added to the project, and I can give my client the ability to view how their project total is affected when they make those change order decisions. So a lot of great ways to really add that information and upload those details. Let's see, so great question here coming from one of our audience members that our colleague Holly is mentioning that would be a good one to touch on here, is asking about conflicts within scheduling. So within ConstructionSuite, and you go to assign a resource, one of the benefits is not only that will it check to see if that person is available, but it's also going to check on that insurance, like we had talked about earlier. So for framing labor, for example, if I were to double click on this item within my schedule, I've got this area for resources. When I add a resource, it's going to pull up my contact window where I can go in and see the availability calendar for that particular resource, and you can widen that so you get a bigger view. But if I were to go find, my typical framer is Bishop and Brothers Framing. So if I click on their name, notice that it shows the details of that vendor below, or that subcontractor below. It also shows me their availability calendar for whatever time frame I select, and I can go forward or backwards in time. But I can see that for March, they were booked for about a week. Whereas now, for the date that I'm scheduling, which is the 17th of April, they're open, they're free, I can go ahead and book them, no problem. If you do have a conflict, so let's just click on one of these items in red, you'll see that it'll show you the actual activity and the project they're assigned to. So you can see where they've been assigned and if it's something that you can override and schedule them anyways, or if it's something that you'd rather either find somebody else or adjust your schedule to make do. When you go and adjust or assign that person, you can see that I'm getting now the prompt that my Bishop and Brothers Framing contact is going to end up having expired insurance or is already expired by this particular date. So you can see that right off the bat, I can choose, nope, we're not gonna work with them, or we're gonna go ahead and contact them first and get that information edited and updated within our system. Same thing when you adjust your schedule. So not only when you're scheduling from the first time, but when I make a schedule adjustment, let's just say I start a new project and I schedule and then there's a conflict or there's a delay, it's going to prompt me when there is a conflict with when I shift my schedule as well. There's also reports, excuse me, the reports that will allow you to run a scheduling conflict report and see that information as well. So great question on how to really kind of manage, and those are the things that we'll be really covering in much more detail on Wednesday's session on productivity and workflow management. So it'll give us a chance. It's next Wednesday, same time as this one. It's 4 p.m. Eastern time. So make sure to set your clocks forward or check your time zone, of course, but that's going to be covered in much more detail there in some of those other topics. So great question here coming from one of the audience members today. So really a few final things before we kind of open up the floor, talk about some more of the details of when and how and so on. One of the things that you'll notice, again, if you're existing ConstructionSuite users, you'll notice that the proposal wizards now save and update with your changes. So for those of you who are going through and creating your proposal from your estimate, you'll notice that you can now save your changes to save your settings within your proposal. So it'll allow you to really create that pretty quickly. All you have to do at this point is hit finish. It's going to generate the proposal that I've last created. So it's going to keep those settings memorized. And you're going to notice that you can also send category level detail to QuickBooks, so you don't have to send over every item or subcategory. So there's tons of small adjustments and enhancements like that that are really littered throughout the software that I couldn't even remember to tell you all that are there. So, but those are the ones that I know we've had people ask about recently.
Yeah, along those lines as well, some of the things that I definitely like to highlight, and one of the reasons why we like to draw attention to these things too, is there's a lot of really powerful, beneficial tools that are often overlooked, unfortunately, in ConstructionSuite because people are focused on just getting their jobs done and not necessarily sharing information. Now, one of the things that we've done to kind of help with this, as Rachel has mentioned several times actually, we have built a lot of the capabilities into ConstructionSuite to take the information, the work that you're putting into this program, and all of that invested time is then going to be shared out through ConstructionOnline through that SuiteLink tool that's available through the Total Care membership. So as you guys sign up for that, you get the power of the desktop, and it marries really well with the mobility and collaboration features and functions available through ConstructionOnline also. You'll see this happening very regularly as you go into sections like the calendars, a lot of this information, and Rachel's half dozen paydays here, all of this information.
I like to know when I get paid.
That's very fair. But all of this information is going to go up to ConstructionOnline and is going to be available through the mobile apps as well. So as you start to assign all of these activities out to other individuals, if we go in here and start creating a couple of additional tasks, you'll see where we have assigned resources, related projects, everything like that. This information is going to go up to ConstructionOnline. But it's not just going to show up in your calendar. Now it's going to be showing up for everybody else who's associated with that one as well. Same for the to-dos. And part of the value that you'll see here is the ability to get a quick overview for who you've assigned and the jobs that these things are assigned to. There's the assigned to column actually out here. Setting this information is going to upload it to ConstructionOnline, automatically share it with the people who need to have access to it. When they mark it as complete, you see these things dropping off of your list right here in ConstructionSuite as well. You'll also see a lot of this kind of functionality as we talk about sharing files and photos from the job site and everything like that. As you navigate into the project files section, for any of these jobs that are actually shared on ConstructionOnline, like 2272 Moores Mill Road here, you'll see at the top portion all of our local files that we've created, things that are a little bit more important for us to have here in the office, like the application for payment forms, versus those files that we're setting up or sharing on ConstructionOnline here as well. We plan on talking about this one a little bit more on Friday as we start to get into the mobile functionality here, but sharing this information through ConstructionOnline here allows the people in the field to pull it up through our mobile apps like on-site files, on-site plan room.
Yeah, on-site calendar, like you were mentioning with the calendar, or on-site to-dos. All of those apps allow you to see the information that you've entered from ConstructionSuite potentially, or vice versa.
Absolutely.
You know, so you've got both options available where you can see that information, or photos, for example. You know, like Ian was saying, let's choose a project that actually has more detail in it. But you've got 515 West Avenue here. You can see what Ian was saying. Sometimes there are things your ConstructionSuite users can access. They may be more of your management team or your estimators. They might know some more of the details in terms of the overall project management, whereas your online files might be more or just different files that you want to share. So maybe they're more pictures, they're more of kind of what's happening on the day-to-day. They're less of the planning or the kind of financial detail, but more of the, showing off what's actually going on the job site. So you can see right here in this bottom section that I've got all of the files showing on ConstructionOnline that have been uploaded by somebody online. So they can use that on-site photo app and actually take photos directly. You can see that I can pull them right up, double click, and it's going to pull that photo directly into view. So I don't even have to download it. It's all linked and in line with ConstructionSuite. So that's a nice way to do that as well. So definitely a great way to connect that information between the two systems.
And this is also nice too, because as you'll see going through this, ConstructionSuite, the first piece of this puzzle, is designed really for a lot of the main office work. So we've got a lot of those key components in here, like a really robust estimating system, really advanced scheduling that allows you to work well with your resources and managing them well, avoiding any kind of conflicts or anything like that. Full capabilities to generate all the contracts and proposals, additional reports and everything like that. Again, as I mentioned earlier, the best QuickBooks integration available in the industry today. You'll see this from accountants all over not even just the country anymore, all over the 70 some odd countries that we have clients working with, except in Australia, I think it's Reckon that we work with. But as you're starting to work with these people, you'll see a lot of the really kind of heavy duty lifting here in ConstructionSuite. That's a lot more beneficial when you've got the keyboard and the mouse. For the guys that are always out in the field, though, we've really streamlined ConstructionOnline to give them all the tools and the utility that makes their jobs easier. With these two applications, we've got you guys covered from end to end on all the projects that you're trying to bring in. And we're actually one of the few that's unique in that kind of industry as well, that we give you the power of the desktop, the utility of the cloud, and we connect the two. So you don't have to bring in several different applications to accomplish these goals. You've just got the one system. We provide most of the detail that you need, and you guys are in great shape.
Absolutely. A few questions here coming in from some of the users. One was about the sharing to-dos with people, and it looks like we've pretty much touched on that one.
Yeah.
So definitely use the to-dos in ConstructionSuite. They're automatically synced through TotalCare, through your ClientLink to our ConstructionOnline and then to the mobile app. So if you're using any version of ConstructionOnline, you can take advantage of that to-do integration from your mobile app. And of course, if you're on one of our pro subscriptions for ConstructionOnline, you can see that information online in addition to the budgeting and scheduling and other things as well. One of the other questions that are coming through is asking a little bit more about the correspondence overview. So let's take a look at, we'll just kind of grab any one of these projects that actually has correspondence. We'll just look at all of them. And within the correspondence overview, you're really going to be able to see the pending requests for information, requests for quotes, submittals that you have out for each individual job. This is available in our ConstructionSuite commercial versions, contractor and hire. So if you're using one of the ConstructionSuite commercial versions, I'm using our developer at the moment, then you'll be able to use this feature. So when asked, what's one of the common differences between ConstructionSuite residential and commercial, this is probably one of the major tools, as well as the RS means data and some of the templates that are provided with estimating. But in this scenario, you're going to be able to see and track the correspondence. So when you add a new correspondence, we'll actually add one for this 2272 job. You can select the type of correspondence. So if we just want a generic request for information, we can add our subject. We can determine who's authored this request, if it's coming from us, or if it's coming from somebody outside, perhaps a subcontractor, who it's assigned to. So if it's something that our architect needs to answer and we're just tracking that information, perhaps we're acting as the management team. You can also record once it's answered, who answered it, when it's required or when it was answered, if there's a cost or a schedule impact that needs to be considered. You can link or add a drawing number, location, or discipline to that as well. And then within this, you can link your questions and also add attachments. So you can pull attachments either directly from ConstructionSuite. So if I attach a project file, it'll allow me to attach plans or documents or anything that's entered already in ConstructionSuite. Or I can attach a file outside of ConstructionSuite. So I can just pull something up directly on my computer here within ConstructionSuite and actually pull those in directly as well. And then once you send those out, you can generate a request for information document that's going to be a much more formal presentation that's going to summarize the contents of the request for information. It'll show off all of the details that you've listed and included here. When someone replies or posts their response, that's going to email that back directly to you, or perhaps you have it hand delivered, and then you can add their answer or their response. If we were to pull up one of these up, for example, we can actually go in then and set who answered that, when it was answered, and actually add the answer and any additional comments and or attachments as well. So that's going to show really what your correspondence overview is, and this just allows you to see big picture for all projects. Of course, you can group those by projects or by correspondence types as well. So if I wanted to see all of the requests for information, I can easily track those within this view, as well as by filtering those by project.
That's right, yeah, and not only are you able to do things like that with this, with the correspondence section, and like most sections in ConstructionSuite, we always have in mind the fact that most of the people using the system, most of my clients at least, are not glued to their computers. You guys might be on the road, you guys might be traveling around a little bit or something like that, and one of the nicest parts about the correspondence overview here, it shows you I'm pointing at the screen again. It shows you here which ones are still open, revisions perhaps that have been made. You can see those in here. You can group them as Rachel mentioned as well. But you can also just come back in here and check when other people have called in, see the kind of responses that they've given you and everything like that. So much like before, when I was referring to the workflow being a wonderful tool to make sure that handoff is extremely quick and easy, and you guys don't have to have a specific project meeting just to hand a job from maybe your sales team to your production team or anything like that. This correspondence log allows maybe the couple of people that happen to be in the main office at all times field a lot of these questions and direct everybody in the right direction as well. And you'll see that happening throughout ConstructionSuite. Not only are we making it really easy to go from piece to piece so that you can take an estimate and generate a proposal from it with no duplicate data entry, go from an estimate to QuickBooks, same idea, but you'll also see the communication becoming really simple by keeping track of not just who is getting these things done, making sure the responsible parties are notified and everything like that, but also giving you guys the opportunity, not just through this correspondence overview, but also through the calendar activities that go along with those. You can see one of the submittals right here. It's really doing a wonderful job of notifying you of everything that you need to be getting done, taking a lot of the stress off of you and your team for reaching out to these people, keeping up with things like insurance information, you'll see those throughout here, making sure that Rachel knows when she's getting paid, giving us all of that sort of information in here so that a lot of the tedious parts, maybe we'll call them, of office management are taken care of by the system automatically with little to no effort on your part. So wonderful tools in there to make sure that everybody's on the same page as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So at this point, we've had several questions already come through, and I've hopefully been able to answer those. Certainly chat those over if you have additional questions. But we really want to talk now about really kind of what this looks like. So if you're an existing Total Care member, this upgrade to ConstructionSuite 6 is available to you because you're a Total Care member. So congratulations, that's what it's there for. You're going to be receiving the prompt to upgrade, so you'll get a nice little pop-up that says you have the upgrade available. And that's going to be coming. Ian's
I'm trying not to clap here, but it's going to be a super easy process for you guys. We've been talking about it for a little while, and I'm actually super excited now because as you guys are working in ConstructionSuite over the next few days or weeks or what have you, you'll actually just see a little pop-up in ConstructionSuite, a little pop-up that says there's a new upgrade available. Do you want to download this now? All of the work that you have to do is going to be right there clicking on that little yes button. You click that button, the system takes care of everything else for you. It even gives you a little backup just in case you guys haven't been doing backups recently, but it gets you on the latest and greatest, and all because you're a current Total Care subscriber. So good call on that one. That's going to be coming to you super fast and easy, and all you have to do is click one button.
For those of you who aren't Total Care member but would love to take advantage of the upgrade, give us a call. We'll be happy to get you started. If you have an existing version, or excuse me, a previous version of ConstructionSuite, it's very simple. There's some really nice discounts available. Feel free to give us a call. We'd love to hear from you and help you get started. Don't forget to check out next week's session. So again, we're going to go ahead and pull that up. Be sure to register for those. Those are going to be really exciting new topics that are going to really discuss more of the how-to and really some more of the how to actually make this work. So what do you mean by winning jobs? What is that actually going to do for me? And how is this going, and really hear from success stories as well. I think I'm most excited about the one at the end, just hearing, some of the success stories that our clients have told us. So I'm so excited to share those with you as well. It always is nice to hear from other construction professionals as well.
Absolutely. And like I said too, as we're going through these, if you guys do want to come in and take a look at them, or if you guys were previously registered for some of the older series of webinars, we'd love to have you back. Make sure that you come into the page, take a look for it. We'll do our best to record these, but we love getting this kind of feedback that you guys have been open with today. Love getting the questions and everything like that. It's definitely wonderful to see you guys actively working with this. It looks like there's a few more questions there that we should probably touch on. But keep in mind too that these are all geared for your success as well. You can't benefit from them unless you guys join us for them. So make sure that you sign up. Take advantage of these tools that we're making available to you, and we'd love to see you in another one.
Absolutely. So really at that point then we've got kind of a final question that we'll go ahead and talk, just asking about if there are color options in the estimating forms, and there's not. So there's different status indicators, but not specific color forms there besides, the overdue or some of the
all of Rachel's numbers in red.
Yeah, exactly, or some of the areas where you'll see, change order shaded a different color. So you'll definitely have status options that you can set, but nothing specific to color codes themselves. But certainly keep us in touch as you have questions. We'd love to hear from you. Please attend the webinars or set aside time for those. Those are going to really, again, be helpful and show off all that you can do with ConstructionSuite 6. We want to thank you for attending this afternoon and setting aside time of your day to hear what we have to say, and we'd love to answer your questions or help you get started. If you have additional questions, feel free to stick around. We'll go ahead and chat those to you as well. Otherwise, hope you have a great afternoon, and we hope to speak with you soon.
Yeah, thanks for joining us, guys. Take care.